Hello, friends and adventurers. How is everybody doing? How is everybody doing in 2026? So, today we're gonna start a new adventure, Velaya, the Tale of a Warrior. It's a German mod released in December 2007. Now, here's a few cool things about this mod. Number one, it's fully voice acted. It's in German, but we do have an English translation. Number two, the main character is actually a woman. And not just a woman, it's actually a character called Velaya, which was present in Gothic 1. In Gothic 1, she was basically a slave to the Ore Barons, from what I recall. But the story takes place just after the Nameless Hero leaves the island of Khorinis once he leaves for Erdorath. And Velaya basically has to deal with the mercenaries on Onar's farm in the aftermath of the hero's departure. And this is basically how our story begins. We're also going to have an English voice acted introduction. The original audio cinematic, its quality is so. I mean, the microphones of the voice actors, much like mine were in the beginning, were pretty low quality. I mean, you can tell people basically recorded this at home and they just sent it in and they put it in the game. But then again, it's a free mod, so you cannot have the same expectations as you would have as a paid game. So people simply did this out of passion and their free time, and I can respect that, and we should respect that. We should respect the effort. Now, let's start the adventure, and let's go. New game.
After a handful of adventurers captured a ship from the royal paladins, and left the island of Khorinis for an unknown destination without the approval of the Lord Protector, much occurred. Lord Hagen, deprived of his ship, marched with his knights and paladins into the Valley of Mines. He would execute the orders of King Robar II at all costs, and obtain the magic ore for the war against the orcs. His troops advanced heroically to the old castle. The commander of the local contingent of paladins, Garand, described their vain attempts to recover the little ore that had been extracted. Lord Hagen realized that the royal edict could not be fulfilled, with hordes of orcs, lizard men, and wild beasts roaming the valley. He ordered retreat from the former convict colony, but the dark throng of Beliar had waited for the paladins to leave their shielding castle. A horde of orcs, supported by their fearsome shamans and packs of lizards walking upright with gruesome swords, set upon the faithful of Enos. Lord Hagen's vassals fought their way back through the pass to Khorinis. The wild hordes of darkness swarmed through behind them and spread throughout the plain. On the plateau, the Lord Protector of Khorinis implored and inspired his men to stand fast and fight. With the last of their strength, and with Enos's help, the valiant warriors drove the brutes back into the pass. Lord Hagen and Lord Garand lost their lives. When it looked as if the malformed children of Beliar could yet defeat the brave faithful of the Radiant, suddenly everyone, man and beast, felt a deep, dark tone in the air that made the pass vibrate. The horrible battle came to a halt. Enos's last fighters retreated step by step. Their dark foes were confused and bewildered, and stayed in the crevice. That was to be their doom. Suddenly, the mountains shuddered. Boulders fell into the canyon from both sides, and the ground rose up against them. Countless orcs and lizards were crushed. Their death cries resounded even days later in the mountains. The magicians have come. Pyrrhikar and Satyrus led them to battle, and in a mighty invocation they made the earth itself the soldier of Enos. The great quake sealed the pass and lifted the orcish threat to this side.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Meanwhile on Onar's farm, some of the mercenaries took advantage of the power vacuum, which followed the disappearance of their leader Lee, to try and wrest control of the farm for themselves. Others felt obliged to the farmer Onar, and after a brief struggle, the rebel fighters were put to flight. Nobody knows where they fled to. The water mages returned to Jarkandar, to the Valley of the Builders, continuing their studies on the old culture and keeping a wary eye on the pirates and bandits in the region. Doing so, they shut the way to the door behind them so that nobody might travel the two parts of the island. Pyrocar and his fire mages, on the other hand, retreated to the monastery on the cliff. They had borne a heavy burden in the invocation of the earth, and were accordingly weakened. A time of rest should restore their powers. Lord Andre, the new Lord Protector of this island, decreed that the city of Khorinis was not to be accessed by any without explicit permission. Small bands of orcs and lizards still roam this island, and among the shades of the paladins, quite a number of mercenaries and fortune hunters survive the pass. Lord Andre does not have enough men to face these threats, and can merely protect the city itself from attacks. And in these troubled times, a young woman begins to rebel against prevailing opinions and customs. This is her story.
This is her story. So yeah, the voice acting,
Nun zier dich nicht so. Komm her, so wie du aussiehst. Willst du es doch auch?
Was bildest du dir ein? Lass mich in Ruhe, du Mistkerl.
Yeah, give it to him, give it to him.
Na warte, du Schlampe. Das hast du nicht umsonst getan.
Well, this is how we start our story. We get our asses kicked, just like Gothic 1.
You poor sucker. You don't even have any gold on
Yeah,
you.
I think it fits really well. So yeah, I spent freaking entire hour just to get that that intro cutscene in English. Give me 1 second. Let's save the game.
Geht's wieder, Kleine?
Ich werd's überstehen. Das war nicht das erste Mal.
Kein Wunder, dass sich die Kerle anglotzen und zu sabbern anfangen, wie du nach all der Zeit immer noch rumläufst. In diesen Klamotten wärst du in Bromas roter Laterne die Hauptattraktion. Schau mal in meine Truhe, da findest du meine alte Lederrüstung. Müsste dir passen.
Du besitzt eine Lederrüstung?
Naja, ich habe nicht immer hier in der Küche gestanden, musst du wissen. Früher war ich... Aber lassen wir das ist lange vorbei.
Was war früher? Davon musst du mir unbedingt erzählen.
Später vielleicht. Jetzt zieh dich erst mal um, Kind, und dann komm noch mal her.
Okay. So, I spent a very long time just trying. So here's the thing. There's an English introduction to the game, as you can see. However, it's incredibly buggy to actually get it to trigger. I literally wasted an entire hour just trying to get that thing to trigger. Just so we can have an introduction. I apparently need to keep buying my stuff, so give me a moment. Okay. Leather armor. So as you can see, we are playing character Velaya. Does she actually have a... Yeah, she has a necklace, not a tattoo. So leather armor. Looking snazzy. And I love the detail that this leather armor belonged to a woman, and that's why it fits. Perfect. So we also have our basic quick bar. But we press I to hide the quick bar. Perfect. So anything else? Cool. So let's talk to Fekla. I really love this mod. I'm super excited for it, to be honest. The voice acting is gonna be but the plot, I really like the plot idea. So Fekla,
Hallo Thekla.
I've tried on your leather armor.
Ich habe deine Lederrüstung anprobiert. Sie sitzt wie angegossen.
Da ist sie wenigstens zu etwas Nütze. Was hast du jetzt vor?
Ich will am liebsten lernen, wie ich mich gegen solche Kerle zur Wehr setzen kann.
Das kann ich gut verstehen. Trotzdem dürfte es nicht leicht sein, als Frau den Respekt der Söldner hier auf dem Hof zu erlangen. Du musst vorsichtig mit solchen Sachen sein.
Dann werde ich den Hof eben verlassen. Ich glaube sowieso nicht, dass ich den Rest meines Lebens als Tagelöhnerin auf einem Bauernhof verbringen will. Nichts für ungut. Ich bin eben ein Kind der Stadt.
Glaub mir, Kleine, ich kann dich verstehen. Weißt du was? Bevor du hier weggehst, solltest du Cord einen Besuch abstatten. Der Söldner schuldet mir noch einen Gefallen für meinen Eintopf. Sag einen schönen Gruß von mir. Er soll dir etwas beibringen.
Aber er ist auch nur einer von Onas Söldnern.
Schätzchen, tu, was ich dir sage. Und komm noch mal vorbei.
So, Chapter 1, Protest. Yeah, woman emancipation. Let's go cooking.
Hallo Thekla.
And by cooking, I mean let's go doing stuff to actually... Where's Dar? Where's the asshole? Where is the asshole? I want to get cooking. When I say cooking, I want to mean getting our dexterity and one-handed up. So, here's the thing, mechanically wise...
Hallo Khaled.
Du hattest einen kleinen Streit mit Da. Ich kann dir nur raten, dich von diesem Typen fernzuhalten. Wahrscheinlich hat sich durch das ständige Gerauche sein Hirn inzwischen aufgelöst.
Danke für deine Worte. Ich werde aufpassen. Aber irgendwann werde ich mich revanchieren. Das verspreche ich dir.
Ich werde auf dich setzen.
So mechanically wise, despite the fact that we can wield two-handed weapons if we choose so, because Velaya is a woman, the way she was coded was that strength requirements are actually higher when it comes to investing learning points in developing her versus dexterity points. So for example, let's say we're at 50 strength and 50 dexterity. If we want to advance our strength past that point, it's probably gonna cost us like 20 or 25 learning points just to get a 5-point increase in strength, because she can only develop so much muscle mass. But on the other hand, if we want to invest in dexterity, it's only going to cost us 10 learning points. So that means we're going to have to go one-handed weapons and dexterity, with maybe a secondary option in bows. So let's explore... Hey, Torloff. You are losing the reins on your mercenaries.
Du hast deine Söldner nicht im Griff. Da hat mich angemacht und niedergeschlagen.
Ich weiß es bereits. Und Dar hat dafür schon Federn gelassen. Ich habe ihn zu einer Geldbuße verdonnert. Hier 100 Goldstücke, Schmerzensgeld. Wenn für dich die Sache damit noch nicht aus der Welt ist, ich werde dich nicht an irgendetwas hindern. Schließlich bist du kein Söldner. Nur lass ihn mir leben.
Danke.
Schon in Ordnung. Du weißt ja, wie Ona über solche Sachen denkt.
Kannst du mir etwas von deiner Stärke abgeben?
Ich kann's versuchen. Doch bedenke genau, wofür du deine Erfahrung einsetzt.
Bring mir etwas bei.
So, teach me something. Crossbow accuracy and strength. Yeah, so as you can see, the strength requirements are already higher for us. That's basically the game just telling you, don't develop strength. Don't waste your time doing that. When I first played Velaya, I actually tried, out of sheer curiosity, to see how far I could get. And you're just gonna gimp your progress significantly.
Hey,
Let's talk to the people on the
Hallo
farm.
Kleine, ich möchte mich für Da entschuldigen. Du weißt, wir Söldner sind nicht alle solche durchgeknallten Kiffer.
Nette Geste, Hodges. Doch Da wird sich noch selbst bei mir entschuldigen. Das kann ich dir versichern. Kann ich bei dir ein paar Dinge bekommen?
Schau her, das habe ich anzubieten.
Okay, what does he have to offer? Yeah, a bunch of stuff we're not really interested in. The leather belt is gonna come in useful later.
Ich hab das mit Da gehört. Tja, Kleine. Die Welt ist hart.
Oh, danke für dein Mitgefühl.
Nichts für ungut, Kleine.
So Bennett didn't leave with the Nameless Hero. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I think apples
Mach's gut.
do increase our strength. We should actually eat some food. So I do have the speed mod, the accelerator thingy. Save the game. Perfect. So let's see. What do we have? We have some food. Let's talk to.
Hallo, Elena.
Hello, Elena. I'm leaving the farm.
Ich verlasse den Hof. Ich habe die Schnauze voll, mich immer wieder von diesen
Idioten?
Danke, Idioten anmachen zu lassen.
Was hast du vor?
Ich weiß nicht. Als erstes werde ich lernen, wie ich mich meiner Haut wehren kann. Dann lasse ich mich überraschen, was Enos noch für mich vorgesehen hat.
Ich wünsche dir alles Gute. Wenn du Hilfe brauchst, dann weißt du, wo du mich findest.
What can I get from you?
Was kann ich bei dir?
A bunch of food. Do we even have any gold? We have 100 gold pieces.
Bis bald.
We're gonna keep that for later. Dar. If I talk to this guy, am I gonna have to fight him again? Uh-huh. Okay, so let's check out the area. This is similar to Gothic 2 in the sense that you have the same... mostly the same areas. The same things to loot. So here we should have some candlesticks, which is great. Leather satchel, perfect. So if you know most of the secrets and tricks in Gothic 2, you're gonna have an easy time in Velaya. Now let's we're gonna basically chat with the people on the farm right now. See how many of them we can actually... Volker! Ooh! Volker from Arkelos. Watch your back.
Pass auf deinen...
So we also have some new NPCs. Good to know. Yeah, I haven't played this mod like in 10 years, so I remember some stuff. But I'm gonna have to admit, I forgot most of it. Hey, Vasily.
Hey, Alter.
Hey, Velaya, komm doch mal näher.
Was gibt's, Vasili?
Man munkelt, dass du den Hof verlassen willst. Ja, ich hätte da mal eine kleine, bescheidene Bitte.
Aha, man munkelt also. Was ist das für eine Bitte?
Nun, ich sammle doch so alte Münzen. Wenn du auf deinen Wegen welche findest, ich kauf sie dir gerne
Yeah,
ab.
all coins, okay.
Oh, danke.
Take care.
Pass auf.
So, Honor.
Hey, ich kenne dich. Du bist doch eine von meinen Mägden.
Ich war eine deiner Mägde. Doch ich habe beschlossen, ab sofort meine eigene Herrin zu sein. Ich erbitte nicht deine Erlaubnis. Ich teile es dir nur mit.
Pappalapapp, eigene Herrin. Hat man sowas schon gehört? Ihr Tagediebe braucht doch immer irgendwann einen, wie mich durchfüttert. Wart's nur ab, du kommst schon wieder.
Okay. Cool. Let's finish up chatting with whoever else is interested in talking to us. Bloody Toby. Interesting. See you.
Wir sehen uns.
So yeah, speaking of, if we go into credits, we can actually see the modders. So it's Thorsten Sommerfeld, Elias Schreiberling. Did I pronounce that right? My German isn't that amazing. We also have Stefan Walzer, Elias Secting Spinner. Secting, does that mean 7? 7 spinner? We also have the list of the voice actors over here, which is pretty cool. We also have the testers. Translators. One name that actually stood out for me was this guy, Basescu Alexei, which is a Romanian. So somebody from Romania participated in translating this mod. Thank you, my friend, my brother, my co-national citizen. So to the end, you can actually see there's a bunch of people that worked on this mod. I mean, 2007, that's 18 years ago, 19 years ago, Jesus. Oh man, almost 20 years ago. This mod is almost 20 years old, if you can imagine. The skills are pretty much the same. We start from zero, we start from scratch. The progression, I feel, is pretty good. So let's have a chat with Cord so we can actually start developing our muscles, our
Grüß dich, Cord.
combat proficiency. We can also adjust our difficulty, enemy hit points, and strength of opponents. I don't wanna... Actually, I'm curious. Strength of opponents. So we're at 100%. So this is if you want higher difficulty level. You can choose. So we're gonna play on the default difficulty. So you can get a sort of baseline on how difficult the game is. So Feklas regards to you.
Einen schönen Gruß von Thekla soll ich dir ausrichten.
Verstehe. Was soll ich für dich tun?
Bring mir bei, wie ich mich zur Wehr setzen kann.
Was, bist du verrückt? Was soll denn der Mist? Ich soll eine Frau unterrichten? Was hat Thekla sich denn dabei gedacht? Ich mache mich doch vor den Jungs lächerlich und unglaubwürdig.
Ich soll dich an den Eintopf erinnern.
Ach ja, der Eintopf. Der hat natürlich Gewicht. Ja, dann pass mal genau auf. Ich werde dir ein paar Übungen zeigen. Mach's mir einfach nach.
Okay, and this is actually pretty cool because we go through some exercises with Core to actually develop our character, and there's gonna be some passive scripts that allow Velaya to actually develop her dexterity in one-handed combat by just doing exercises. I think we have to do 5 or 6 exercises like this, and then we're good to go. Then we just invest learning points from that point on.
Hör genau zu. Diese Kombinationen solltest du täglich absolvieren. Sie werden vor allem deine Geschicklichkeit und dein Geschick im Umgang mit Einhandwaffen schulen. Ich könnte dich auch auf Stärke trimmen, aber du möchtest sicher nicht aussehen wie Arnold der Barbar.
Das ist alles? Diese paar Übungen sind das ganze Geheimnis?
Natürlich nicht. Nur wenn Körper und Geist in Einklang sind, wirst du besser werden. Für die richtige Harmonie rate ich dir, die Übungen dort zu absolvieren, wo die 4 Elemente Feuer, Erde, Wasser und Luft zusammenkommen. Dort solltest du den Schwerttanz trainieren und anschließend Körper und Geist mit einem Bad reinigen.
Richtige Harmonie? Elemente? Körper und Geist in Einklang bringen? Das hört sich nicht an, als ob das aus deiner Feder stammt.
Das habe ich in der Tat von einem kitaischen Mystiker gelernt, vor meiner Zeit in der Kolonie. Und es funktioniert. Ich sage das ohne zu prahlen. Ich bin dadurch einer der besten Schwertkämpfer geworden.
Danke für deine Unterweisung. Ich werde deine Ratschläge beherzigen.
Wenn du an Grenzen stößt, komm zu mir zurück. Ich werde dich weiterführen.
Okay, cool. As for Dar...
Du weißt doch, dass Dar mich niedergeschlagen hat.
Keine Frage. Eine miese Sache war das. Und?
Was meinst du? Bin ich schon so weit, es mit ihm aufzunehmen?
Du willst Gleiches mit Gleichem vergelten, verstehe. Naja.
Was, naja? Nun sag schon.
Ich an deiner Stelle würde die Revanche noch eine Weile aufschieben. Umso wirkungsvoller trifft da dann der Schlag. Frag mich später nochmal.
Okay.
Wir sehen uns.
So we gotta wait until we get our revenge.
Ach, übrigens, Mädchen. Was hast du jetzt eigentlich vor? Du überreagierst doch jetzt nicht in irgendeiner Art, nur weil du plötzlich eine Lederrüstung anhast.
Oh, darüber habe ich noch gar nicht nachgedacht. Ich wollte jedenfalls erst einmal den Hof verlassen mit all seinen verdammten
Das langt. Wir wissen, was wir sind und wie wir sind. Das ist manchmal schlimm genug.
Ich wollte dir nicht zu nahe treten. Jedenfalls erst einmal weg hier.
Verstehe. Dann willst du sicherlich in die Stadt. Würdest du mir eine Bitte erfüllen?
Was ist es?
Pass auf. Auf dem Weg zur Stadt kommst du auch an Orlans Taverne vorbei. Irgendwo dort steht ein Innos-Schrein herum. Ein Freund hat dort etwas für mich hinterlegt. Ein Paket. Ich sollte es schon lange abgeholt haben, doch kann ich hier im Moment nicht weg. Sentenzer und Kumpanen könnten wiederkommen und herumstenkern. Bring mir das Paket. Du tust mir damit einen großen Gefallen.
Okay. Sure.
Ja, einverstanden. Ich tu's. Als kleine Entschädigung für den Gefallen, den du mir mit dem Training getan hast.
Klasse. Schon mal danke im Voraus.
Very well.
Wir sehen uns.
So, one of the first things I kind of want to do is learn how to skin animals. And how are we doing on experience? We have a 0% experience. But I do remember there was this woodcutter over here who in Gothic 2...
Hallo, Waldmeister.
What are you doing here?
Ich bin Velaya. Was machst du hier draußen so allein im Wald?
Was denkst du? Ich höre den ganzen Tag auf das Zwitschern der Vögel, lausche dem Heulen der Wölfe und dem Krächzen der Scavenger.
Im Ernst?
Im Ernst? Ach ja. Und nebenbei hacke ich noch ein bisschen Holz und mache Holzkohle. Die Leute nennen mich Grom. Wie den Waldgeist.
Pass auf dich auf. Hallo,
Actually, it seems that he
Waldmeister.
doesn't teach us anything.
Pass auf dich.
Interesting. So there are wolves over there. Okay, good to know. I think we can learn... What are we doing on dexterity? 20 dexterity. I think we can learn some... alchemy, so we can make potions later on. I don't remember if this place is filled with the undead or bandits. I think it's the undead. Because technically the bandits have been wiped out. We gotta proceed very carefully. Okay, doesn't seem to be anybody here.
Schlösserknacken bin ich noch viel zu blond.
Yeah, know nothing about picking locks. Tell me about it. We don't know nothing about anything. Okay, so we're just gonna... I love the small detail that there's flies on this ship's spit, indicating this camp has been abandoned for a while. Love these small details, man. Really love them. Mine crawlers over there, not gonna deal with mine crawlers. Is there a key anywhere here, or do we need to learn lockpicking? Yeah, we're technically going off the beaten path right now, but we're quickly getting some resources. I kind of want to avoid fighting animals if possible. I don't really remember what the trainers were. Who could teach us lockpicking? I love the fact that some chests are actually looted. Because the Nameless Hero looted them. That was probably Dexter's chest. But did he also loot the firebow up there? That's the question. Thank you for the potion. Like, we're basically exploring a world that has been left in the wake of the Nameless Hero. As you can see, the firebow is gone. A breath of sulfur comes to your nose. Yeah. Oh, we have valuable gold pieces. That's interesting. An oblivion spell, huh? Okay. Give me a second. Why is my action button not... perfect. Perfect. Try not to die now. It's actually getting late, so we should sleep. Should sleep until the morning. Can we sleep over here? So I'm gonna play in the sleep until sunrise. Thank you. Perfect. Perfectamundo. Sunrise means 5 a.m. So yeah, we also have translations for the quests. Some translations are gonna be iffy. So from what I remember, I'm not sure if I'm correct. I might be confusing this with the Liver mod or the New Balance mod. There is still undead over there. That's the question. Yes, there are undead over there. Good to know. So we're not gonna joke around with the undead yet. We basically have 40 hit points. Anything can kill us in one hit. 2 trolls down there. Good to know. Okay, so let's make our way towards Orlan's Tavern. Let's see what we can fight. Check the locator mod in case we missed anything. So we did miss something over here. Spell scroll. Yeah, I do use the locator mod, I admit. But that's because there's a bunch of items you're always gonna lose. You're always gonna overlook. Some items are actually really well hidden in Gothic. Okay, so let's go this way. Technically, we can bypass the trolls, but it's actually a bit more difficult to bypass, whatchamacallit, the wolves. Statue of Enos. We have a bunch of field raiders over there. I think we can potentially handle field raiders, like if they do the same amount of damage as in Gothic 2. We should be fine. The question is, can I force the shadows? The shadow strength. Make the shadows slightly lighter. I always felt like the shadows were way too harsh in Gothic. That's just me. Come on. See if we can handle one field raider. Oh, I don't want the farmer to actually get involved. Thank you, asshole.
So much for you, filthy beast.
Thank you, yes. We actually took my XP. Skull splitter, yeah. Can I talk to this prick?
Hey Mann.
Kann dir keiner verdenken, wenn du hier einen Sack...
So long. So they're actually gonna go and aggro the field raiders. So I don't want that to happen. So we can kill them. It's a bit iffy. We actually need a better weapon. So I'm actually curious. Are there gonna be bandits' rapiers along the roads? It's actually a very good question. Ooh, King Sorrel. Nothing's probably gonna happen if I press these buttons, right? Let's get all the plants in the area. So we're kind of weak. We don't have a lot of things to fight right now. Hello, Mr. Buster. Is he gonna accost us?
Hey, Buster.
Still on your sentry?
Bist du immer noch auf Posten? Lee ist doch weg.
Na und? Torloff ist der neue Anführer. Er sagt jetzt, was gemacht wird. Und Torloff hat gesagt, Buster, bleib auf deinem Posten und pass auf, dass die bösen Jungs nicht wiederkommen, also Sentenza und Raul und die anderen Knallköppe. Und da bleib ich auf meinem Posten und passe auf, dass die bösen Jungs, also Sentenza, Raul und die anderen Knallköppe nicht wiederkommen.
Verstehe. So einfach kann das Leben sein. Kannst du den bösen Jungs denn auch so richtig wehtun?
Klar. Willst du mal sehen?
Show me.
Sehen? Ich will's.
Du, da...
Teach one-handed combat, okay.
Immer schön.
Thank you very much. Was that guy sleeping? Okay, so that's the island where we can actually practice the moves Gord showed us. There are 3 blood flies over there. Hey, Errol.
Hallo, Errol.
Everything is
Alles noch beim Alten? Floriert der Handel?
Hallo, Kleine. Naja, von Florieren kann keine Rede sein. Man kommt so über die Runden. Früher, als ich noch Stadtschreiber war, hatte ich ein besseres Leben.
Stadtschreiber? Ich habe gehört, dass ein gewisser Cornelius Stadtschreiber wäre.
Ich bin sein Vorgänger. Eines grauen Tages, ich muss wohl die Nase zu tief im Tintenfass gehabt haben, sagte ich zu mir, Junge, das kann's doch nicht gewesen sein. Den ganzen Tag am Schreibpult, für den Rest deines Lebens? Staubige Akten und durchgescheuerte Ärmelschoner? Darauf hatte ich plötzlich keinen Bock mehr. Da habe ich meine Anstellung verkauft und mich als Händler selbstständig gemacht. Aber manchmal juckt's mich doch noch, den Griffel wieder in die Hand zu nehmen. Übrigens ist Cornelius nicht mehr Stadtschreiber.
Was hast du anzubieten?
So what can he offer? Oh, he has an elixir of life. That's actually pretty cool. Fine short sword. Now that's actually a good weapon, but it does require strength. So we gotta focus on
Pass auf.
exclusive weapons. We need a rapier. That's our main goal right now. So we need to find a rapier somewhere. I actually think I have a couple ideas on how to accomplish that. But first of all, let's go to the Enos Shrine near Orland's Tavern. Oof, wolves. Ooh, boars. Even worse. Ugh. You know what? I think I have an idea. If we go back to the farm, we might be able to acquire a rapier. Let's get all of this. Thank you. Man, the quick loot mod. It makes life so easy. Makes life so freaking easy. Look at it. We just point at something and we instantly pick it up. So yeah, we desperately need a rapier, that's the thing. We can fight jack shit at this level. I mean, we can fight stuff. Oh, I already got a bandit's rapier. I'm an idiot. Yeah, I was wondering because there had to be bandits' rapiers along the way. Finally, we can fight stuff. Oh, but look at the time. We are actually near the end of this episode. We might as well attempt to kill something. Okay, this field raider over here looks like a tempting target. How much damage do we do against one field raider? Let's see. So we do a base of 5 damage. So that would mean that we would do... How much is our dexterity? 20 dexterity plus 40. That means on a crit we would do 60 damage. Minus its armor, which I think it's probably 20 or 25. Not an amazing level of damage. So we gotta go to this island. That's the issue. I think these are... I hope they're small bloodflies. Yes. Okay, we can kill the bloodflies. Okay, the small ones. Okay. Okay. This is doable. This is doable. Perfect. Perfect. And Velaya jotted something down. She wrote, I found a place. I should come here with the sunrise between 5 and 7 o'clock. So basically what happens if we come here to train, I don't know for how many days straight, 4 or 5 days, an animation will automatically trigger, and Velaya's skills will slightly increase. I think it's mostly her dexterity, if I'm not mistaken, and a bit of one-handed weapons. And that's about it. So, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna see you next time. Actually curious, is that wolf actually gonna aggro me? No. Whew. So I'm gonna see you next time in Velaya, the Tale of a Warrior, as she goes to Orlan's Tavern, starts kicking ass, training for her journey to get revenge against Dar. Thank you. As always, remember, the most important story in the world is your own. Cheers, guys and gals. Until next we meet, here's Gina.
Hello, adventurer! Please like and subscribe. You can also share the video. Hello? Where are you going? Why are you running? You can support us on Buy Me a Coffee too. Or on Patreon. You can become a free supporter too. Oh, they always do that.